our skills section. The next section is the resume section. So here we have the title. We also have this is called the timeline. So we'll be designing this. There are various ways of designing this using CSS. Some may use JavaScript, but we are going to use our own design. We'll be using Bootstrap and CSS to try and come up with this. Also to get the mobile view, the mobile part of it, to align as well. All right, let's begin. Laptop view. Okay, beginning with the title. So here we already have resume title section ready to begin. So we'll begin with our section. And for the title, we are just going to go to where we have done title before, so we don't have to take much time trying to redesign it. Okay, so we have designed the title here before in this about section. We're just going to copy it and take it back to so we're going to call this our resume title. We'll change this to resume. It will just automatically adopt the style that we have given this from the beginning. So we're going to change this here. Let's see this. We can save find our professional summary, because here they have the summary, professional summary, experience and education. Below. All right. So this is it. See, it has adopted the color, the border, and everything, even the center. So next we want to move straight to the work experience. So we need a div, the H1, and a paragraph. Okay. Right here. We're going to make it a container so that it will align with the others in width and in spacing. Okay, for our summary, we'll check out what we have here. Let's take this one. Key. Alright, so we're going to give this a padding bottom of 5. So we can have this nice space here. Here, padding bottom 5. Alright. Okay, so next we're going to begin with our timeline. So we have this 1, 2 column, the left and the right of this, and we have this line in between. So first, to create this, we're going to have our row and column. So let's go ahead, beginning with our div class container, div.container, div.row. Then for the first side, we're going to have like let's call it LG 5 or 4. This looks small. Let's say div.call LG. We're beginning with our desktop design. That's why we're using the LG div.lg4. And for our second column, we're going to have div.lg call -lg7. So this doesn't make up 12. We're just leaving out that remaining one space for proper alignment, okay, to avoid any overflow. So in the first div, we're going to have this, the company and the period which work there, okay. So if you don't have any skill, you don't have to do this. You can just skip this entirely if you don't have any work experience and just go straight down to portfolio and put your work, okay. So we're just doing this so we can learn how to do a timeline just in case you come across it anywhere. And this is going to be a custom made style in timeline, the one we're making by ourselves using our tools. Okay, so here we're going to have page for the company. From here we have our company. Okay, so we'll start with the first one. When we're done designing this, both desktop and mobile, then we'll duplicate to make the others. Alright, so then next we have a paragraph for the period of 2021 to present. So let's call this class of company and class of period. Alright, so that's for the left. That's for the left. Then for the right, we have description in title. Right, what is it called here? Position and description. So let's use that. Let's use that. So for College 7, we have also H3. Oh, sorry, our position. Position here is founder and lead instructor. Then for our description, class description. We have this. So let's take a look. Now we have the left and the right column. So what we need now is to style them and put the lines for the timeline. So let's begin with this page 4. We have a company. So that's company. We're going to say font size. Alright, we have then we have the period. Font size as well. Let's say 15px. And if we notice, our position here has a color. So we'll choose our brand color. I think the next one should be position. You forgot to add that, position and description. We're working on the font size because from our template UI we saw that the size is smaller than what we have than the original size. So we're going to put position 20px and for description lastly. We're going to have font size of 16px. Okay, so now let's work on the timeline. So we're going to be using the Bootstrap vertical row. This is how what it looks like. Vertical row scale their heights in flex layouts. So it works with display flex. So to have a longer row like this, you see the row is this short. If you just want to add a class of V arrow for vertical row. So if you want it this long, then you have to add this extra div, wrap it in this div. Then on this div, you can set it to display flex. That is what will make it, like it says, it can scale. That's how you can scale it. You must set it to flex for you to be able to scale it, to increase the height and any other thing. Then you can add a new height to it. So let's copy this. We're going to put this right inside the same div as what I call LG4. That is because if we put it outside, it will begin to act like one of the, this is the column. It will act like one of the columns. It will even cause everything to break. You see, this is what it will look like. But when you put it inside here, it's going to act like being a part of this div. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this in a div. So let's move this inside that div so they can both be separate, Then we can now drop the div of this here. So in our call LG4, we have a div for our heading and the paragraph and the div for the vertical row. I have explained why we had to put the vertical row inside this column. Let's see. Okay, so you see, remember they say you can only scale the vertical row when it's on what display flex. So it also needs display flex for it to come to the front here. So we're going to do that here because now you can see it's in a column view. It's stacking on each other, this and this, just like the 2D, the way you should expect it to act. So now on this column, that's why I had to put this in a div so they can act like 2 columns. So right here we can now say dflex for display flex, and let's look at that. You can see now it's up. So we're going to give it a class. We're going to give this our horizontal row a class. We'll call it timeline row. That's the rule for our timeline. So we can style this. Let's see for now. Okay. Let's move it away from the text. Let's just give it some margin to move away from the text. Just put the margin end, start and margin end 4. Let's see where I think that's should be margin starts. Okay, MS. So now we have the space. So what's left for us now is to add this dot. We're going to use the font awesome for this. So font awesome circle. I did this. I made this. The default is kind of gray or something. So when if you want to change the color of your font awesome from the font awesome platform, all you have to do is click on this show styling tool. It will toggle and bring out this tool. Then you can change the color you want. You can click on any color. When it shows, you can adjust it. Like when I click on this one, it will give me all this color. Then you can choose. This is how I got it. I moved the, you see, to where I have orange color, and then I searched for the orange color that I need. I needed a dark orange, so this is how you can select your color. So you select your color. When it's done, you can see the color style have been added, and now this is in RGB. I don't want it in RGB. Okay, from here, when you click on it, it changes to HSL. You click again, it changes to, you click again till you get hexadecimal, and you see it's now on hexadecimal. So it will be easy for you like this. Copy the color, and then you put it right inside the VR so that it wouldn't stay far from it, so it will be easy to just move it in position. So let's see how we can position this back to our code. Okay, first of all, I would like to bring this height of 200 to our CSS. So we have our class here, timeline rule, copy. Let's remove this. Back to CSS. So we're going to add here div dot timeline rule. So we have height, the one we just removed from our inline style, 200 px. Now we're back. So let's now align our icon. So we'll click the far circle. So we're going to set it to position relative. Then we're moving it to the right and to the top. We want it to be right on at the beginning point of the line. Right, let's say 10 px. Okay, let's reduce it a bit. Let's say 9 px. Okay, and then we have to push it to the top. So we're using bottom because bottom will move it to the top. Let's also try 10 px. Okay. Take it down a bit. Okay. The line is still showing. Let's just make it 4 px. I think we still have the line up there. 5 is perfect then. Okay, good. So we have our timeline. All we need to do is close up this space. So because the column has already given this a width, it has already defined the width of the left and the right. So to move this back, we just have to use something like maybe a margin of padding in minus. So for LG, that's where we're going to put it. So let's give it a class. Let's call it. Let's call it timeline right. Should we use padding or margin? Let's use margin. Okay, that's too close. Let's move it to the top a bit. Okay, this should be just left. I don't want it all over. Alright, let's just focus on here. So I think this is okay. Okay, let's bring it a little bit closer. Let's see. Let's just use ATPX. A little bit closer. Alright, so now we're going to work on the mobile view. I think we've got this view correctly. Next, we're going to work on the tablet view. So for the tablet view, we have all the items on the left move to the right. Okay, so we're going to do this using our CSS. So we're not going to use the VR line anymore because that will be difficult to get it to stay at the side. You know, right now it's just at the middle. It's in between them. So it's in between them. So to get this to come here, we're going to let this go and use our border. That's our own the style that we will be using. So back to here, we're going to add something right up here and also a class. So let's give this a class called timeline container. Let's add panning button so you can actually see the down of our timeline. So here timeline container, okay, plus so this will give you for our circle. We're going to have an empty div here. For that div, we're going to give it a class called mobile row pointer because it looks like a pointer. So this is an empty div. This is what will help us put the circle. Okay, we can also use the icon and just move it as well. But for now, we're going to we'll make that icon by ourselves. So next, we're going to give this a class as well, our row, and call it timeline view. Right, so we've not done anything. So let's go to the so we're going to hide this. We're going to hide the VR vertical row. And the class of this row is a timeline row. So let's create our mobile view. Timeline. Let's say resume. Timeline. Mobile view. That's media. Max weight 768. Okay, so that's this div with timeline row. But we're needing the height later, not now. For now, let's just do what we need to do. We say we're going to say okay, sorry, we don't need it. We want to do visibility hidden or display none. Let's display none. So it doesn't show at all. If we use visibility hidden, it's going to still be there. So it's going to still be there. We're going to add importance to this because we've used it before. So visibility hidden, the space of that item that left will still be there, but display none will not retain the space. So that's why we're using display none. Okay, let me just quickly show you the difference. If you go and say visibility hidden, see, the line is no longer here, but it still retains the space of the line. And if you hover on it, you still get to see it. You see, Let's open this up. Now you see timeline, you see it will still be there. For display none, we'll take it out completely. You see, it will be like it never existed. So the line, the space for that line will no longer be there. So now we know why this is hiding. It's because we have given it this margin left to bring it closer in the desktop view. So now for this mobile view, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. So I'm going to return it back to 0. So margin 0. So now we see alignment. So all we need now is to put a border line at the back of this with the pointer. Alright, so first of all, we want to where's our row? The row is the one holding both sides, the left and the right side. So we're going to put the border on this timeline row. We'll set it to border. Border left, that is, not all round border. 2px solid. Let's give it a gray color. Okay, now we have our border. And let's put that height of 4px. Okay. Next we're going to work on the pointer. So this is what we're going to do. We put it up here so it doesn't interfere with any of our column. It doesn't interfere with anything in our row because it's actually outside the row, right? So this is the row. So that is actually outside the row. So let's do this. Let's take the mobile row pointer class. Mobile row pointer class back to our CSS. We're going to give, remember, if you need to have a perfect circle, all you have to do is give it equal width and height. Equal width and height, and set a border radius for it. Border radius, it's raining heavily here. I hope it's not obstructing my voice or the video. So we're going to give it, you can use 50%, you can use 100%, whichever one works. So we're going to give it a background color for our same color. Let's see. So this is it. So now we have to move this to the left and down so it stays at the tip of the. So that brings us to position relative. What did I do? We say this is the position relative, and then we go left now or right. Left. Let's see. This one we 20x. Let's see. Oh, so that we're going right then. 20x is a bit too far. Good. So is there any need to add chalk? Let's say to here. Okay, let's just leave it this way. I think this looks perfect. So now we're done with this. Let's see what it looks like in other devices. Okay, so let's put this in a container so I can align with it. Let's put that to, okay, it is already in a container, but let's set it to a smaller width. So this is our timeline container, okay? Let's do that here. The timeline container. Let's give the width of 80% and set the margin to 0 option. Let's add our div. The div or timeline container that then moves show. Okay. So all we need to do now is to, for smaller mobile devices, you can see the length of the border is shorter, so we'll have to increase it. The length is shorter, so we'll have to do something different for 425 down. So let's do that. So we have to go media query again, max width 425 here. So let's bring this in. So it's too much inside here, so let's expand the width a bit to 90% rather than 80. Okay. And then we want to increase the height necessary of our border. So we don't need this, it's already there, so we just want to increase the height. So let's make it 300 or so. Or so it works here, it works here, but it doesn't work here. Let's okay. Let's increase this to 246. So we can even use 600. Let's do that 600. Okay, that's perfect. So 768. Anything from 600 down, we get this longer. Let's reduce it to this is okay. So with this, I think we are done. Right? So all we need to do is duplicate this section we have created to form the other section. Alright, so let's duplicate this. We're going to do that the row. Not from the container, but from the row. Okay, and also our pointer, we need the pointer. So our row ends here. So we're taking our pointer with us because every row will have here. Let's say if we're duplicating everything inside here. 1, 2. We duplicated this twice. 1, 2. And then we have the first one here. Okay. Now let's put a space here. I think we should get rid of the top we have here. This good. So this is perfect. That is how we can customize our own timeline. We just have to, do our own style, and it looks perfectly well. Here we have used border, and for the laptop view we have used the VR line, vertical row. So this is faint because we added it directly into the vertical row. So that's why that is faint, but it looks good that way. We don't want it to be too far, so we don't start using position and start going left, right, center. Let us make it that way. All right, so I think with this we're done with this section. So let's review this. This is our laptop view, work experience resume. Um, this is from our template, what we have. Resume, work experience, and this. Then from the tablet view, everything was being moved to the side, one side, and we're able to duplicate that here. We have everything on the side as well. Okay, so and also on smaller devices with still logo. So you can watch this over and over again, and anytime you need to design something that has to do with a timeline, you can absolutely make use of this. Alright, so this we are coming to the end of this section. The next section is the portfolio section with this portfolio filter, but we are going to be doing something different here. We'll be using AI ChatGPT to create this section. Alright, so see you in the next section. Oh, and before we go, this is our resume section. Inside the resume, we have education, and you can notice we're not going to be doing this. So, because we're learning how to design, right, using our CSS and Bootstrap. So, we already have this, which is the same, similar with this. So, you can use this to learn what you have done here. Just try and repeat it for the education section and ensure that you understand what is happening there. Or if you can, duplicate, copy, and paste the whole of that section and just change the details, and then you will have this education. So I'm going to skip this because of our time and we'll go straight to portfolio session. Okay.